our emotions, right? So I don't know if you know or not, but I live in Minneapolis, where a lot is happening right now. And emotions are very high for not only us that live here, but obviously so many people and in so many different places for so many different reasons. But I thought it would be really great to demonstrate to you how this fascia work can really help when you're feeling stressed, nervous, sad, angry, mad, just emotional in general. I want to explain for a moment first about emotions and fascia. So you might have heard at some point where our body holds our emotions. Well, it can go even more specific than that. Our fascia also very much holds our emotions. And the way it does that is complicated, and it's something that I'm learning more and more about, but a way that I like to describe it, just to somehow give it reference for us to understand it and how it is associated with how we're feeling, is that when we're moving through life and we go through different periods of trauma, stress, chronic pain, injury, things that bring about a lot of an emotional response, what our body does for us is it basically imprints those emotions and feelings in our body. So imagine the shape that you're in when you're feeling emotional or defensive. So everything comes into itself. Our body is trained to come into that fetal position, knees up, arms in, chest rounded, as a protection. And when we're going through that imprinting of those emotions in the shape that we're in during that period of time, it locks it in a way to protect us so that we can still move forward in life, still take step in the forward direction. But if we never work on that, there's various wonderful ways to work through some of these emotions. They're going to stay there. You can get to a certain point, but sometimes that release in the actual tissues of the body is a step in the right direction to even create more of an environment for healing. But in a moment of acute emotions and stress, it can also do the same thing. It can help protect you to keep your body healthy, to not hold on and lock onto those feelings and emotions. This past year has been quite a year for a lot of people, feeling a lot of intensity. So I'm going to demonstrate two main areas where the body holds on to emotions for us that are more common. The hips here, in particular the psoas, which is a deep muscle that inserts in the anterior aspect of the hip. That psoas can get tight for various reasons, but it likes to lock in our emotions too. So when you're working your hips, you might feel some sort of emotional release or shift in your body. I've had people that have taken my classes and courses and told me that after doing some particular work in the hip area that they started crying. So if you experience that, that's a normal thing, and it's a good thing if you're ready to let that happen. The next area is the chest. So the chest, that forward protective mode here, that position. To open up the chest, we can feel very vulnerable. That can feel, just even doing this, I'm like, oh my gosh. So to allow those tissues to spread and open so they can glide more freely is also a really good way in the moment, really, when you're feeling, oh my gosh, to help that kind of release and help your body reground itself. We're going to start first with the anterior hip flexors, quad, and psoas. We're going to need the mat today. If you want to get a little cushion for under your knee, feel free to do that as well. Take one leg up and keep one leg down. So we're going to be stretching the side of the body on the leg that is down, so the knee that's down. Basically, you want to think about and do this in two parts. Activating the area of the hip flexors, your quad, and a little bit of that psoas. So for the psoas, if you're not familiar with that is, like I said, it's a muscle that inserts in the interior aspect of your hip. But I want you just to feel like you're engaging your lower abdominals, especially on the side of the knee that's down. To shorten, you first want to bring your body forward. Where you go forward is up to you, but you just want to shorten this whole area here by bending forward. Take a look at that front knee. This is really important. As you begin this movement, if you're finding your knee is going past your toes, you need to bring the foot out further. If you're finding that you're not able to connect as much as you want to, you can change your distance. But for now, start with about a 90-degree angle. You can have a block or something to hold on to for balance if you need to. I'm just going to rest my elbow to begin on my thigh. When you're folded down, add activation by bringing your resistance of your back knee forward and your front foot back, as if they want to scissor towards each other. You'll feel it working in the hamstring here, but that's not the focus. The focus is here. I want you to actually contract your quad rather than just contracting it to create the resistance. Do more. Tighten that lower belly area that I was talking about. Squeeze your back tush as you start to move. Begin by pressing your hips forward. So you're starting to lengthen that thigh. Keep pressing this knee forward, and then you follow through, belly's tight here, with your body. You keep your glute tight so that you protect your lower back. When you come up, you don't want to go here. It's more about a forward motion and following through with a lift. Squeeze and activate. I know it's a lot. Bear with me. Once you do it a couple times, you'll start to connect with it and it will really feel good. Here we go. Starting down, add your resistance, scissor the legs. Quad fires. Squeeze your back tush. First, start by pressing your pelvis forward a couple inches. Belly ignites even more as you follow through. Keep everything active. Extra focus on that bottom knee to lift up. Find that support, but tight through here. Round it down. Resistance. Slowly start to come forward. Squeeze that tush. Activate, activate. Stay connected. Follow through. Bring it back down. Find that activation. It doesn't have to be as hard as you can go. I just want you to make the connection. Stay with it. Activation through elongation. Let's do 2 more. Feel that connection. Squeeze that tush, squeeze that tush. Follow through, round it down. Activate, breathe. Finding the connection with your body and your movement in the space as you lift up. Relax it down. Switch feet, bring the other side up. Let me show you in this direction here. Bringing it down, scissor the legs. Feel that quad, hip flexor, and lower belly. Squeeze your tush, pelvis comes forward first. Follow through, belly ignites, lifting up, bring it down. Find your activation. You're moving through it, but the most important thing is that you stay connected with the muscle contractions through your movement. They want to work together. Let your breath flow. You might feel different on one side, or you might feel more of a restriction. I feel more restricted on my right side as I do this one. It feels different. Good. Let's do 2 more here. Bring it down. Activate. Breathe. Listen to your body. Find some peace with your movement. 1 more time. Down. Activate. Glute tighten back. Belly's engaged. That one got a little deeper. Hold it for a second and let it release. Moving back to the other side, we're going to add on to that. I want to go a little bit deeper, so we're creating a fascial activation all the way up to the top of the arm. So start with the side that you began with, 1 foot up. Everything starts the same, except for you're going to take, if your left leg is down, your left arm is bent and into your side, and right hand underneath your elbow like this. And same if you're on the right side, then your right knee is down, right elbow is bent. So as you do this, the addition here is that you're pressing your elbow into your hand. Everything is the same through here. Start your movement forward. Stay connected to it. But now as you get to the top, you're going to reach that palm up jazz hand all the way up to the sky. Feel that whole line of activation. Back down. We're just doing this 3 more times. Elbow presses down, that right hand, if it's underneath, or the left hand's pushing up. Keep connected to the lower body. The whole body has to work together. Find a flow with it. Stay with it. Squeeze your tush. 1 more time. Bring it down. You can start to see a flow happening. But the pace I'm going, I can check in and make sure I'm activating where I want and need it. Bring it down. Other side. Starting down. So same arm, same leg. Elbow bent. Find your activation. Scissor those legs in. Focus on the knee that's down, resisting forward. The belly ignites. Keep following through with your arm all the way. Straighten it up to the sky. Round it back down. Activate. Connect with the floor. The legs. Now the belly fires more. Glute and back is tight. Reach it to the sky. 2 more. Bring it down. Notice if you have anything coming up for you, let it come up. Just be aware of it. This side for me, a lot more happens. And it's hard to describe sometimes, but now as I'm doing this, it just feels like I'm uniting my movements, my body, and my emotions. And release it. Okay, good. So moving on to the chest. Take a seat. Knees bent. And if this is an uncomfortable position for you to be like this, you can do this sitting in a chair. You're gonna reach around the back of a chair so your fingertips are facing in like this. And you'll do the same motion as I'm about to describe. So, bend your knees. We wanna shorten the chest first. So we're gonna come down onto our hands. Fingertips are facing your bum. Okay. My shoulders are slightly rounded forward. I'm kind of hunching or collapsing down a little bit into my upper body. Gazing just through your knees here. Resist your hands forward as if they want to slide forward up towards your tush. And you feel contracted in the chest. Remember, our body likes to feel pulled into itself. So this position to start, you can typically get an activation. Notice if it's stronger on one side than the other. Now that you have it, start to lift your sternum up and puff it through the shoulders. You're coming up onto the diagonal. You're looking on the diagonal at the top. Retract your shoulders and feel openness and space across your chest. Feel the tissues pulling away from your sternum. Your hands are still resisting towards your tush. Round it back down. Resist. Hands forward. Keep that. Keep that. Pull those shoulders back slightly. Open across. Gazing up on the diagonal. Breathe. Bring it back down. This is when, if you're in the moment, you're really feeling you need to just calm your mind, your emotions, do this one. Bring it back down. Press those hands forward. Retract the shoulders, chest puffs up. Gaze up at the diagonal. Now you're going to move to the right and to the left a little bit. Start the same way, but just take your diagonal up into one side, right or left. Retract that shoulder. Relax it down. Try the other side. Good. If you're feeling this too much in the shoulders or in the back, you can be sitting in a chair. One more each side. Good. One more time. Down. Hands resist. They keep resisting. Back to center for 2. Down. Open it up. Shoulders retract. Breathe. Bring it down. Maybe bring the hands a little wider on the last one. Changing your pathways. Each micro adjustment changes. Whew, that one felt good. We're here feeling the stretch. Take a seat. Bringing your hands like a butterfly to your chest and your sternum. Pressing into your body and hug the skin slightly down. Gazing on the forward diagonal. Hold your skin in and slowly start to take a look up. You're lifting your chin up, not crunching into the back of your neck. Jut your chin up to the sky. And then bring it back down. Hands press in. Feel that press in and down with the skin. Lift your chin up to the sky. Back down one more time. Hug the skin. You're creating a fascial gliding of the layer of fascia below your skin, your superficial fascia. And there you go. A little bit for the psoas, anterior hip, the chest, and the heart. So I hope you feel good with this. You can use these tools as you move through your days as needed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll be back again soon with more. Bye-bye.